Hey, my name is Ashley Cecil. I'm a first year personal fitness trainer. Today's going to be my first lesson on open and kinetic closed exercises. So first off, we're going to start off with boxing. It's a good way to demonstrate them both. So as he's going to be doing the left jab, it is right now an open kinetic exercise just because there's no destination that it's fixed to. His arms are free to move in space. So we'll make things a little bit more trickier. We'll just switch up a couple movements. So do left jab, right jab. And just to make things a little bit more trickier, we'll do left jab, and uppercut.
Left jab, right jab.
Perfect. So now we're going to make it into a closed kinetic exercise. We're going to make it into closed kinetic exercises because I'm going to put my hands there. And then as soon as he hits my hands, it becomes a closed destination, closed kinetic exercise because he has to go back into the original position of before he's able to continue. Okay, thank you. Okay, and now for our next exercise, we're going to be doing some push-ups. So first off, we're going to start it off in a nice, easy one. So we're going to have our knees while we're doing this push-up. This is a closed kinetic exercise just because the end part of his body is fixed. It is on the ground, same with his knees. And we'll just make things a little bit more trickier. We'll go into regular push-ups. The regular push-ups make it a little bit more trickier just because his whole base of support just got widened. And same with the center of gravity, he has to go for a longer period of time. And just to finally make things a little bit more trickier, we're going to do the triangle push-up. The reason why that one's trickier is just because it's using different muscles that aren't usually used in the exercise. So there's always ways to make things a little bit more harder, but that was just an example. And once again, the closed kinetic exercise just because his body is connected to the ground. Without his body being connected to the ground, he would not be able to do those movements. Right now, as he's doing this movement, we have torsion happening when he lifts his elbow up and down with flexion and extension. It's an open kinetic exercise just because it happens in two phases. It has the lifting and the lowering phase, and also there's nothing holding him back. There's no resistance or anything stopping him doing the movements. Okay, so we're going to make things a little bit more trickier. We're going to increase the weight. So we have our 15-pound weight. How does that feel? Okay, so now for our next exercise, we're going to do the squats. We're going to make the squats easier and more difficult. So first off, we'll start off with the easy squat. We're going to have it against the wall. So we'll have his base of support to be his feet, but he's also getting some support from the wall. Very nice. His center line of gravity is just towards his middle line, but as he becomes lower, it becomes more difficult to keep the position. It's causing a tension between the muscles. Okay, how did that feel?
Good.
Very nice. So we'll get into our next exercise, where we're just going to move you away from the wall as you continue to do your squats. Perfect. So he is also doing movement on the medial lateral x-axis, but right now with his arms out, it could be on the long two-axis. If his hands were just isometric, then it would be. But obviously that doesn't feel too comfortable. Perfect. So we're going to make things a little bit more trickier. We're just going to add a little bit more weight. Okay, so this is definitely going to make it a little bit more trickier, because before we just had extension and flexion of the elbows, so now he also has to keep his center line of gravity more so towards the side because he has different factors pulling on it to make it more difficult for the resistance. And this would be a closed kinetic exercise just because his feet are nicely on the ground, so it's a fixed variable. Without his feet being on the ground, he wouldn't be able to cause the movement from his knees to lifting it up from his hips. How did that feel?
Good.
Good? You ready for some heavier weights?
Yeah.
Okay. What does that didn't say?
I guess so.
Okay. You're ready for some weights. Good to hear. Okay, so now we'll just make it a little bit more trickier. So we have a 10-pound weight. And once again, he's also doing abduction and abduction of his shoulder girdle. It's a little bit difficult to see, but they are coming closer to the midline and away from the midline. Perfect. How's that feel?
Good.
Good. Ready for some more weights?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be the trickiest one of them all. This is our highest weight we got here. Soon we'll have heavier weights, but that one's just going to be a 15 pound. So if you want to try that again. And the reason why it's an open kinetic exercise is just because right now his arm is able to move freely. He's not actually relying on any other muscle, but right now his shoulder and his elbows do the movement. So right now we're isolating a specific movement. We're isolating the elbow, causing the movement to gain muscle mass. Perfect. How did that feel?
Great.
Perfect. We'll get into our next exercise. So that's going to include everything. Thank you so much for watching. So we talked about open and kinetic closed exercises. So closed kinetic exercises are fixed to a distal end, and open kinetic exercises are free to move in space. But thank you so much for watching.